Thanks to your support, this YouTube channel has reached 600 subscribers. Yeah! It's hard to believe, but we are able to make it. Good-minded people who are willing to learn Buddhism and use Buddhism in our everyday life. I've been learning a lot from your comments and also from your comments. I mean, comments has been the essential platform of our conversation. So it's been 1.5 years since I started this channel, so I thought of doing something different for the next 2 or 3 weeks by publishing 2 or 3 videos per week, the short ones, so that the learning and the conversation will be a little bit more effective. I mean, I've been publishing 10 to 20 minutes long video about the Lotus Sutra recently, once a week. But sometimes it's good to change the gear and try some different forms of learning. So I might be uploading some old videos about what is mindfulness, what is the Lotus Sutra's attitude towards non-Buddhist groups, and other religious groups, or other Buddhist groups and so on. So which I actually uploaded in the past, but nobody watched and I sort of deleted. But now I think that there's some value in them. Also, I have an announcement. I will be giving a Dharma talk at Rishiko Sekai of North America's meeting. You know, Arkina has been offering a lot of online programs that you can join from anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet. The topic is this: the localization of a Buddhist Sangha of Rishiko Sekai. So I know some of you are Buddhist clergies, some Buddhist priests, and Buddhists belong to other religions, other groups of Buddhism, and other religions and non-religions as well. What would you like to hear from me about the topic of the localization of a particular Buddhist group, a Rishiko Sekai? If you are working on localization of your own business or Buddhist Sangha in your country, or this kind of localization of something originally foreign, like in Rishiko Sekai's version that started in Japan back in 1930s. American transformation of Buddhism is happening, and also many other countries, even the global Buddhist population is slightly declining recently. So localization, let's think about that a little bit and before in this video. If you localize something, that means there is a thing you're assuming that there must be something that needs to be planted and localized. If that is the case, when we think about the localization of something, like a Dharma group, Buddhist group, into another country or something like that, you are trying to sort of, sorting out what is non-essential about your own tradition, and trying to figure out, define some kind of essence about your own tradition. But Buddhism says there's no such an unchanging essence. So this cannot be an unchanging essence, but some kind of essential aspect of your tradition, right? It could be a ritual form, teaching, scripture. I don't know, in the case of Rishiko Sekai, what is essential? Lotus Sutra, obviously. Essential, not only to read the Lotus Sutra, but to practice the Buddhist wisdom of the Lotus Sutra. So in Rishiko Sekai, people take this sutra not as enjoying the literature, but learning the Buddhist wisdom and how to use that practically in our everyday life to build our better human relationships in our society. And the way they do is to form and grow the Sangha. That part is essential, especially by listening to the concern of other members, other students, and Rishiko Sekai visitors included, newcomers too. We listen rather than giving advice, and in the process of listening, like I will be normally asking like, you talk about A, B, and C about the one same thing. But is A more irritating, or B or C is rather irritating? Oh, A, I see. Is that because the A circles back to the son of that guy who bothered you at work? That's how they're linked? Oh, that's not the case. So the issue is different from the guy. Okay. So then what's the nature of this? So we sort of trace the multiple complexity of the relationship of the problem that is bothering that person who express themselves. So that's how we compassionately listen to each other in Rishiko Sekai. So that's the refining our desire, clarifying our purposes, sort of refining the meaning of our life. That's how we form our Sangha too, right? That's Sangha formation by listening based on Buddhist skill of Four Noble Truths. That way, that's essential. Okay, so we got the Lotus Sutra in Rishiko Sekai. It is practical implication to practice it, and the Sangha formation by listening. Yeah, we also have a ritual every day, recitation of the Lotus Sutra, which calms your mind, which is like meditation. So ritual aspect is there, but it's not necessary, perhaps. I don't know if you are friends or members of Rishiko. So what do you think? The ritual forms of recitation, one of the must items for the Rishiko as an essential in that aspect? Or without it, can we still agree on sort of a localization of Rishiko Sekai? What if, some person comes to Rishiko Sekai Buddhism and Rishiko Sekai doesn't offer the sitting meditation as a primary focus of a ritual practice, right? But that guy, newcomer, comes to Rishiko Sekai with the fervent passion for the meditation. And he loves the teaching of the non-exclusive practical aspect of the Rishiko Sekai. Can that person be a good member of Rishiko Sekai while remaining as a member of other Buddhist sects? The answer is yes, right? If that is the case, this kind of the flexible tailor ability is something that Rishiko Sekai can offer. Maybe the essence is not the forms, but the essence, given the Lotus Sutra's philosophy, is perhaps the infinite tailor ability of the practice and forms of practice of Rishiko Sekai. That's which is a nature, which is formless of Rishiko Sekai, perhaps, I don't know. But as long as the nature is not the material aspect, but the nature as the way of thinking, being flexible about, because the flexibility matters, because that way we can reach out and accommodate many desires and purposes and goals of each person, which is different from one to one. I don't know. What do you think about the localization of your own particular spiritual, philosophical, or religious tradition that comes from the foreign land? Let me know. Maybe the foreign is becoming more and more old. Maybe the usage of the foreign is an old idea. It's hard to make a hard and fast distinction between this is a country A, this is country B. I get in the global internet usage. Let's see. Anyways, if you want to know more about the event, I probably will upload more information in the description box below when it comes. Thanks for checking out. See you soon.